Good morning, everyone. Sorry for the little bit of a delay. I was having some issues with QuickTime and everything, all my streaming stuff, so I didn't stuff work out. And I am, unfortunately, see-through in my chest right now, too, which is odd, incredibly odd, but I tweeted this the other day. One of the hardest things for streaming for me is finding outfits that work because I wear green all the time. So I'm going to try to ignore the fact that my chest is see-through and keep my hair to my chest and keep this sweater closed. But I'm running out of non-green blue clothes, which is difficult. I'm wearing like this teal top and it's a little bit odd. Well, hi guys. Happy morning. Happy Saturday. Happy weekend. I think it'll be the weekend for every time zone, which is always my fave. So if you didn't check on my Twitter, I am switching up my stream times to schedule just to make things just a little bit easier for me. So I'm streaming obviously right now, and then I will be streaming tomorrow night for me, which is my 6 p.m. Eastern time, which would be pretty late for you GMT people. And so sorry about that, but make things work. So 6 p.m. Eastern is 2 hours before wartime. So, hi Gaza, hi Zeus. So, I have a goal today. And my goal is to be a little bit more positive and a little bit less bitchy today. So, let's cross our fingers. I'm going to try really hard to stay on that positive note. I honestly haven't been playing much War Dragons since the event started, especially for me. I haven't been doing all my XP runs or my multipliers or a lot of event runs just because this event is just really depressing for me. So I'm trying really hard to keep my positive thing. And on the forums, if you guys aren't already registered on the forums, side note there, if you are registered on the forums but for some reason you can't comment or make posts and things like that, send me a mail in-game with your forum username. There is like a weird permissions thing and I will tag you on the forums and hopefully get that taken care of for you. But on the forums, PG Jared said that he is kind of getting an official response reviewed and edited for us regarding this event and the rationale behind it. Which leads me to believe that they're not going to actually do anything. They're not going to change the prizes for us. They're not going to change how this works. But we all know as actual players why this is bad, especially, so it doesn't sound like PG's going to be doing much of anything other than telling us why this is great and why we need to realize it's great. Woo. That's exciting. So, we're going to do some plain old-fashioned multis today. I'm not going to do them in the event. I'm going to do them on XP bases or on real bases, depending which account we do. We're going to do some dragon flying and just completely try to ignore the fact that the event exists. So let's do some token missions here. Dreadful Roar, that's on my Algor, and Crumble to Dust, oh joy. So neither of those are on dragons that I need multipliers for, as you can see, because Algor is already set there, and then Crumble to Dust will be on my Howzet. So we're going to fly my alt first, shall we? So we're going to switch devices. How's it going, guys, by the way? Anything exciting going on in your lives? Yay! Oh shoot, my husband moved my green screen. My bad. He came over and brought me a drink, so sorry. Switch devices here. Go into my iPad. Gaza, I like what you're saying here. What event? Oh, shoot. Oh, QuickTime's doing the thing that it was doing earlier. It just keeps closing. What event? Gaza, you're my favorite right now. Zeus, you come hang out with me. Natastic says, I'm boring and bought a new cooker today. What's a cooker? Like, what are you talking about? Curious. And guys, are you at work? And work isn't good? Don't quite understand what you're saying there, Boo Bear. Alright, let's go do some flying. So I don't hit XP bases on my alt because, like I've said many times before, I think only hitting XP bases makes me a poor flyer. So we're just going to go hang out and hit normal people and take their stuff. So oven for Americans. So like a full-blown, like big oven with like a stove top and that kind of thing. Like a whole big situation. Really? You call it a cooker? Really? Huh. I guess I learn something new every day. My favorite word that the English say, and I'm not sure if a lot of other people say, is whinge. Winch is my favorite word. I think it's so funny. Gaza says, I'm at work, which is never good. Ooh. But at least you're at a workplace where you can watch a stream. So that means at least it can't be all bad, right? Hopefully. Pros and cons. Let's do how. I love my how. How makes me happy inside. So I didn't do a lot of flying and everything last night. We had a friend over and we had a few drinks and whatnot. It was a lot of fun. And my husband plays the guitar and sings quite a bit. And he's preparing for an open mic night this weekend and all these whatnot, which is really cool. But he was practicing last night and I am a string musician as well. And so he's like, honey, have you ever played Double and Down to Georgia? I was like, no. Violin isn't my main instrument either, of all things. And he's like, well, let's try it. So I pulled up the sheet music for it last night, and I was playing that with him. And I can't quite keep up with the actual tempo of the piece, but I was like really surprised by it. I was like, man, this fiddle music, man. I haven't played fiddle music in such a long time. But it was a good time. So that's what we did last night. Drinking, hang out with friends, music. Always fun. It's more exciting than the event, that's for sure. What's going on in chat? Like, is this time for tea? What? I don't understand what you're saying to me right now, Zeus. I have to use Dreadful War, so let's grab... And I'll go here. See how many times you can get Dreadful War off, huh? Oh, only 3 times. In UK, we say it's time for tea. Okay, so that Nadtastic is something that confused the hell out of me. So Dino, one of my darling loves on the team, he always talks. Kaza, you're cracking me up. Dino was talking about meals, and he's like, well, I have to go for tea. It's like, okay, like, see you in a few minutes. He's like, no, it's time for tea. And I was like, what are you talking about? And it took me so long to realize that he wasn't talking about go getting like a cup of tea. He was talking about like dinner. It took me so long to figure that out. Again, sorry I'm doing like weird things with a sweater, but as you can tell, I chose a really inappropriate top color-wise. But my wardrobe is not designed for streaming, guys. It's so awkward. So even my eyes look really odd on streaming to me, myself. So, to kind of explain what's going on in the setup, I have a green screen behind me, so it's this big, stretched out, it's like 7 feet tall, and it's on like a frame and everything behind me, so we're not seeing like the actual box in my living room and all those things. But because of that, that means that all green on my person is gone entirely. I have green eyes, with obviously bits of blue in them and stuff, so I don't look super creepy, but I look really odd to myself. And outfits-wise, you know, I have red hair and I have green eyes, so I wear a lot of teals and a lot of greens and a lot of bright colors like that. And I can't wear those colors on the stream, and I was hoping that this one was a light enough color because it's pretty blue, like a light blue compared to my green screen, but apparently my green screen still doesn't like it, and I just panicked, and I hate wearing red because of my hair, and so this is a problem, so I'm sorry I have this see-through bit on my chest. I need a War Dragons like sweatshirt or something that I can just wear every day that won't get green screened. Hey Dixon, welcome to the stream. Oh, Gaza, you are seriously my favorite right now. I think PG servers are down. They seem to have skipped a PvP event. Yes, Gaza. It's really odd because chests are dropping, but I don't see a PvP event. Oh, jeez. I hate this event so freaking much. Alright. Do you guys see this from yesterday? I still haven't done my Tengu mission. So, let's go do Tengu. Dixon, I don't know what you're talking about. There isn't an event this weekend. No event. Zeus, you want to come hang out? You're welcome to. There you are. Oh, jeez. That stupid cannon that hides and all that whatnot. Oh, jeez. Just. Nah, Zeus, you're good. Hang out with me, man. I should be able to solo this without a problem anyway, so I'm not concerned. Gaza says I'm doing well in chest drafts, which is good. Hey, that's awesome. I'm not, just because, like I said before, I am not playing very much this weekend. But I like Gaza's sense of thinking, the fact that PG skipped an event. So I think if I keep that in mind, I should be able to get on a lot more without feeling bad. Bunch of numbers. I'm just going to call you a bunch of numbers because saying 12050010 is a little difficult for me to remember. This event is non-existent, if you ask Gaza, which I like to agree with Gaza. It's broken as shit. That's all there is. Dixon said you need to wait 6 hours to get your team points and attack during it. What? So, like I said before, sorry Gaza, plug your ears and go la 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 la. So, in this event, it does not matter how many victory points you see with your team now. It does not matter how many flags you have now. It only matters how many flags you have at the end. So, your place in your team ranking is not guaranteed in any way, shape, or form. So, if people come and steal all your flags near the end, you're going to lose everything. So, just keep that in mind, that there's nothing's guaranteed. Nothing sticks in this event. So, just that little tidbit. Dixon said I also farm this base. Yeah, this is the base I use when I don't feel like hitting real bases for whatever reason. Gazi, you can take your earplugs out and stop saying la la la. Alright, that's one down for Tengu. Oh shoot! Zeus wanted XP! Sorry, Zeus! Let's try that again. My bad. Sorry. Zeus, I'm really bad at paying attention. I'm just really flying on autopilot right now. I'm sorry. I'll remember to leave this for you next time, Zeus. Oh, I read the chat. I just wasn't thinking. Oh, I guess Lumber's gonna come hang out with me. Hi, Lumber. Oh, there's Zeus. Sorry, Zeus. Ah, shoot. Gaza said I keep hearing the word event. Can someone please show me where this, please? No, Gaza. There is no event. I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, I'll remember this time, Zeus. I'll try really hard not to go into autopilot mode. So, on a lot of teams, there are different rules about how XP works. So, on Rulith, you have to ask for XP, else the lead will finish the attack. So, on other teams, I know that the rule is you swap unless this person says otherwise not to. But in order to not waste dragons on accident, we just generally don't swap. So, that sadly means that my autopilot tells me to finish a base, and Zeus wanted XP. And I'm sorry, Zeus. So sorry. I'll remember this time. Promise. Promise, promise. But, on a positive note, Gaza, we do have an event next weekend. We'll have Fortification. And it seems like we actually will have the mini event this week. I have yet to actually fully participate in the mini event because, like I showed you guys yesterday on my main, I only have 3 energy packs, and I'm sure not going to spend them on that mini event for those prizes. So it's going to be an interesting thing to see. We'll see. Again, if you guys have questions, want to see a certain thing, just holla at me, let me know. The zoo's finished up. Yay. Getting XP for Riz. I love Riz. Riz is a lot of fun. Good dragon. Oh, Tengu. I like Tengu especially for his farm crushing ability. That's one thing that I typically struggle with when I follow players or other whatnot. So Gaza says the mini event keeps me entertained. So numbers, the mini event is a reiteration of the old Black Bloods. I don't know what level they are and whatnot. So it is a setup from Monday until about Wednesday or so when fortification starts, and you have to attack computer generated bases, and they start at a low level, about level 6, and they go up into well high into like the 400s and whatnot, and you have to defeat as many bases as you can. And there are minimal rewards. You use energy, typically free energy, to do it. It has checkpoints. So checkpoints, I think, every 5 bases. And once you reach a checkpoint, you can kind of relax because you can't drop down. But if you don't reach a checkpoint, after 3 hours of not attacking, you drop back down to the most recent checkpoint. So it's a mini Black Bloods event. It is designed around the original Black Bloods. The original Black Bloods event was a completely free event. I know, shocking, right? It literally cost you nothing but boost and consumables, where you just had to attack and try to get the highest level base you could, and that was a lot of fun. But since that doesn't really make money, PG's definitely had to change that. So Natastic said, I've been having fun with event runs, just flying near Sanu and getting used to them. Hey, I'm glad you're doing that. I'm glad you're getting used to your Sanu. As Gaza will say, what event? But that's kind of what we were doing yesterday, is just kind of flying for fun. I'm really not paying attention to where my team rank is because it's really demoralizing for me. So instead of getting upset about a small couple week or a couple day event, I'm choosing to ignore it. So my team, I've talked to my team about this and my rationale and why I'm doing this. So it's not like I'm just suddenly becoming an absent leader. We've had discussions. So doop doop. What was I doing? Oh, token missions. Zamrock, who I haven't run in forever. All right, let's see. Zamrock will not be able to get very far at all. I love Zam. Mine is still tiny. It's level 19 because I'm just slow at leveling him. I'm not typically a fan of warriors. In fact, I typically hate warriors, but I really like Zamorak's spells. So Mystic Winds is fantastic. And it makes him a really solid lead dragon since he can't get hit by mage super shots if you have the rage. So that's really neat. So we've talked about a Mage Drain Island or Rage Drain Island with mages, and Zamorak can't be taken down by those. So that's really, really neat, I think. Gaza says event. There must be somewhere. Must be a fair on somewhere. Ha! Gaza, you're seriously cracking me up. You are an amusing person today. I'm glad you're here. Doop doop doop. So, for those of you that have never joined me on the stream before or need a little bit of a reminder, I'm Red. Hello. The account that I started flying on is my Ulta account. It is my level 138, and the account that I'm currently flying in my hands. So they're both me in the attack right now. This is my main, a 251. So this is Desi, my emerald legendary dragon, who looks like a beautiful little hummingbird. Adorable and precious, I agree. So these are the two accounts I typically run. I do have a 168 or 69 account on Aria, which is a platinum team to help out there. I do very minimal things other than the wars, just to help Tony out. So for those of you who know, that's kind of where I come from. I am the leader of Rulith, a Sapphire 1 team. And that's just kind of my perspective on things. So, Sharp Eyes said, new player level 42, how do I get points for Fort Event without going up too high? Hey, that's a great question, and I'm happy to show you, because that is exactly what I do on my alt account. So last event, I started at level 138, and I ended at level 138, and I got the 450 sigil prize. So let's talk about that briefly. First thing you need to make sure you do is your farms and mills, make sure they are a max level. So looking here, you can see that I cannot upgrade my farms or mills until I upgrade my builder's hut. So if you see that message on your farms and mills, see if you can upgrade your builder's hut. If you don't see that message, upgrade those. The reason is your farms and mills are really cheap for timers, and they give you exceptionally minimal XP. So it's like 500 XP compared to, on this account, the couple thousand that I need. So farms and mills, make sure they're maxed every fortification event you come to. Make sure that every building on your main island is also maxed for your level. So Dragon's Den is one great thing because it does not cost any timers at all. It is only 3 seconds and it's 0 XP. You can do your storage hut here, which again, you can see that I cannot upgrade. Storage hut, keeping your storage hut upgrade is wonderful, but I do recommend your storage hut be the last thing that you upgrade in an event because it does take the most timers out of all of your buildings. Your forge, it is worth upgrading your forge just for points. There is really nothing exciting, super exciting with maxing your forge, but getting there for the points is what I do. Your builder's hut over here is what takes eggs. So you can see right now I've done the first upgrade, but I cannot do the level 26 upgrade because I need 2 more sapphire eggs. If you aren't really sure what that means with needing eggs, because you're like, oh, I already have 4 sapphire dragons. What this means are extra eggs. So after you breed a sapphire dragon, when your breeding path gives you another dragon of the same color, like an extra egg, that's where this is. So it's the same eggs that you would use for research. These are all extra, so not dragon eggs. They're ones that you get after you already got that egg. So an example would be, if you go on Amoeba's website, amoebastudios.com/dragon, or if you just search Amoeba Dragon, it'll come up right away. He has a tab at the top that says breeding for extra eggs, and you can click that and take a look there, or you can check out my team page if you haven't already, and I have that on there as well. So that's what you could do to get extra eggs. So max all of these buildings. Now, let's say when all of these buildings are maxed and your farms and mills are maxed, how do you keep getting points? Because that's where I was this past event. Let me introduce you to the usefulness of the totem finally. The totem has pros and cons. So if we take a look at the totem here, the totem does a 17% damage reduction from any dragon that also has the earth sign. Upgrading the totem takes elemental embers and it takes wood. If you have a lot of elemental embers, which I do because I've not built a flat cannon yet, build some totems, upgrade them. They are very, very low XP and you can get a lot of points for fortification. So if that's what you want to do to help your team and to get some sigils, I really recommend doing the totem with, again, your very last build of the whole event being storage because of the sheer amount of time to get the storage done. Numbers said, when does the event end? You can see the 2 victory there on the event island, 47 hours and 28 minutes here. So hope that answers your question. So that would be at my time, 11 a.m. 2 days from now. So Monday morning. And make sure you're claiming your prizes as you go in this event because the event island will disappear very quickly. So as you claim your personal prizes, or as you earn your personal prizes, make sure you're claiming them so they don't disappear forever. Alright, let's do some more XP runs. If more questions come up, just holla. Yeah, happy to help, happy to help. Like I've said, I've been in many boats. I've been in the situations where my dragons suck for my level. I've been in situations where my dragons are awesome for my level. I've been in the medium where it's pretty normal. I have been trying really hard not to level up. As you can see, I've tried really hard to level up. So I've kind of been in a lot of situations due to the sheer amount of time I've been playing this game, over 2 years, and the number of accounts I have. Dixon says, I haven't spent any sigils on dragons. What could be the best dragon I could get for over 50k sigils? Hey, that is fantastic. You could actually max 2 dragons, I believe, with 50k. Gaza might be able to... Gaza, you're cracking me up. Gaza might be able to tell you the exact math, as I remember, if you're the Gaza I'm thinking of, you're typically really on top of math. But I want to say it's around 28k sigils to get things done. Let's take a look at the event dragons really quick. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. And I can tell you my personal opinion on them and how well they work. Dixon, can you remind me of your level, please, Dollface, and what dragon tier you're on? Because that makes a little bit of a difference with picking dragons. And if you would also be so inclined to share where you are in breeding, that would also be helpful, so I can kind of get an idea of what your dragons look like. Kitty. Oh, I missed him. Tofu just ran by. So let's pull up the season dragons. So, the 3 season dragons that we have here, plus our bonus. So Dracus here is our bonus dragon, who has Vampire Touch, Sacrifice, Lightning Resistant, Fire Turret Resist. I really recommend that you only get the bonus dragon if you get him during the half off time, which is the first couple of weeks of the season. Otherwise, the bonus dragon is not as great. So Dixon says Sapphire level 274. Okay. So you're in a similar boat to my main. I would highly suggest Borg. Borgian as your first one is insane. So one of the things that makes Borg so fantastic is the fact that he has a lot of runes that you can add on. So what I'm going to do here, because you are a higher level, I'm just going to switch to my main account so I can show you a little bit more there. As I do that, I'm also going to send all this food that my alt has to my main as this loads. QuickTime is being really odd on my computer today. It keeps crashing, but it's just being slow today. All right. Pulling up my iPhone here. So I would really recommend Borgian. So Borgian is level 37 right now. He is just in the start of Garnet. But I want to take a look here at the runes that I have the ability to put on Borgian. So since Borgian does have Healing Mark, which is one of the original spells from Green Tier, that means there are a lot of runes and glyphs for him. So check your rune tower and see if you have a lot of Healing Mark runes, and if you do, this would be a great thing. So in Borgian's line, you also get this Mythic Thunderbolt glyph, which you can see at the bottom. That goes with his White Thunderbolt spell. Which is helpful, and it also has a secondary of rage generation. And I could fly Borg a little bit if you guys want, if you would find that helpful. And then I could kind of poke some of my teammates to see if anyone else has some high-level kins and Zamorax. The other thing is one of these Healing Mark glyphs I also got from the Borgian event line, and so that means the other two Healing Mark, the one rune and the one glyph, I already had in my inventory. So runes are what makes dragons great, and personally, looking at the three, Kanaris, Borg, and Zamorak, that is the reason I went for Borg as my #1 choice for my main, is because of these runes. That Rare Wisdom will be coming off and replaced by an epic Healing Mark when I get there, so this Healing Mark is nuts. So let me show you real quick, keeping in mind that this is just early Garnet tier, so it's not quite to the point where I can use it on my main attack bases yet, because I have to feed him, and I don't have the Garnet Stone for him yet, because I'm a slacker. But I can kind of show you how much the Healing Mark does just with the runes I have on, not with that extra epic, and you can kind of get an idea of why I might love this dragon, and then we can talk about the other ones. So I'm going to fly him boosted, because I have not flown him unboosted against this. Gaza says, I didn't think runes stacked. They do. Runes absolutely stack. Runes only stack if they are different in any way. So you can see I had multiple Healing Mark glyphs on there. The reason that those glyphs stack is because they have a different secondary ability. So if they're rune or a glyph, those stack. And if they have a different secondary ability, those will stack as well. So we'll take another look at the runes when I get there. Alright, so watch my health bar here, guys. I'm going to hit this monument. You can see I get about, I think it's like 36% of my health back, or more, so just over a third per Healing Mark. So that's one rage that I'm using to get a huge chunk of life back. Thunderbolt is exactly like Chain Lightning, except it is white. It is not influenced by research at all, and it has a normal bounce of 4 before the rune. So you can kind of see how much of a difference the Healing Marks make. And knowing the runes stack is a really key factor. So again, if they are different in any way, they will stack. So we'll take another look at my runes once we're done with this run. So this is a level 37 Borgian. I have to feed him. And I've been slow. So having that Healing Mark that does so much makes a difference. So Gaza said, sorry, I missed what you said about stacking. Sure, so I'll show you, so you have a little bit of a visual representation when I say it again. So after this flight, Gaza, I'll show you what I mean. Doop. And so this is a Garnet, level 37, and ending with full health. So Sharp Eyes says, you use Thunderstorm before Healing Mark to better use him. Sharp Eyes, it really depends on how much rage I have. So on the Long Island, since I had that farm that would allow me to build up rage and slow myself down, I definitely use Thunderbolt first. But if I only have 2 bars of rage, I'm not going to use Thunderbolt right away because I want to save on and hold on so I can cloak or use Healing Mark in emergencies. So it all really depends on how much rage I have. So Gaza, let's take a look at my runes again so I can talk about that. So I have 3 Healing Mark runes on here, Thunderbolt Glyph, and the Rare Wisdom. So I can automatically have that circle, which is the rune, and the diamond is the glyph, if you're not familiar with the 2 different terminologies for that. I can have 1 rune and 1 glyph of the same exact thing no matter what. So they can have the same main ability and the same secondary ability, and it's perfectly fine. The reason why I can have 2 glyphs that have the same title is because of their secondary ability. So the first glyph has a secondary ability of storm resist, and the second one has a secondary ability of increasing tower lightning resist, or lightning tower resist. So because they are slightly different in that way, in their wording of the second ability, that means that they do stack and they do work. So this is something that we tested on our team before we got this done a couple of months ago. So they definitely stack if they are slightly different. So if I had another Healing Mark rune that was also Healing Mark multiplier and Havoc damage, I would not be able to equip it because they're not different in any way. So that's for sure. So Dixon says, oh, sorry, I meant Garnet Eggs got 2 less per event. Okay, that's good to know. So, Borgian, I definitely recommend Dixon as the first one you go for. He is fantastic. He is a wonderful dragon, and hunters are, the better thing in the game. Dixon, do you mind if I ask what Garnet-capable dragons you do have? So that includes dragons that have the Garnet Stone on your roster, or the actual Garnet, classical Garnet breed dragons that you have. That would allow me to give you a little bit more insight into that. While you answer that question, if you don't mind, I will pull up the Season Dragons yet again. Gaza said, oh cool, I thought it was 2 the same, i.e. Legendary, Epic, so on. Nope, just 2. It cannot be 2 of the exact same rune or glyph. That's it. Alright, let's take a look at the Season Dragons again. So, I want to talk about the pros and cons of these. So, of course, Dixon, take your time, don't worry. I won't forget about you, I promise. So with Kanaris here, we have Kanaris and Zamorak, and they both have 2 very different flying styles and different flying abilities. Zamorak does take careful planning. So you have to know when it's best to use a shield versus when it's best to use Mythic Winds. So Mythic Winds, which looks like the white wind dwell symbol, also deflects Mage Tower super shots, which is insane. So we've talked a lot about having a Mage Drain Island or a Rage Drain Island with all mages and talking about how that can make our base more effective. That does not affect Zamorak at all. Zamorak's just like, hey, look at this, screw it, I'm going to fly through your Rage Drain Island, and it's not going to bother me at all. Hey, coach. So that is really the pro for Zamorak. If we also take a look at his spells here in detail rather than just the symbols, so Mythic Winds is what I was talking about, where it can reverse all projectiles and super shots, so fireballs are going, Mage super shots are going completely away, and then the average or the normal things such as cannon and trebuchets and things like that. We don't know yet if Mythic Winds will reverse the new fire flak cannon projectiles. We don't know that yet. Superheated Breath is helpful because of the warrior's typical downfall. So a warrior is a tank. It can take a lot of damage typically, but it cannot deal a lot of damage quickly, and so is therefore easily out hammer spammed in wars and in raids and things like that. Superheated Breath they have made some significant improvements on, so now it lasts for 5 seconds versus 3, and it does more damage. So Superheated Breath would make a big difference for added attack power. Northern Lights, I believe it's Northern Lights Dark on him. Tiny symbols. Can you guys see that? Yeah, I think it's Northern Lights Dark on him. I suppose I could just check my other account because I have him. Let me quick. So yes, he has Northern Lights Dark, which means Northern Lights is an invincibility shield, and when it finishes on its own, so not popped by a cannon or a mage, then it leaves rage marks. So every time you destroy a tower that has a rage mark, you gain more rage. And the last spell, of course, that he has is Ice Turret Resist. So a lot of pros there. I think Zamorak makes one of the first lead warriors that we've seen in a long time because he can avoid getting hit by the mage towers, he can deal extra damage, and he can gain rage back really easily with a fabulous invincibility shield. So Dixon has Ursa, Renard, Frost, and Avalanche. Dixon, do you have any Divine Dragons that also have a Garnet Stone, or not yet? Erison says, when do you use Mystic Winds versus Northern Lights? That is a great question. So if there are Mage Towers present, I use Mystic Winds until I can get those Mage Towers down. Granted, my Zamorak is still a low level on my alt because my alt is a low level and I'm not really rushing to level him up right now. I'm really focusing on house it instead. But I think it depends on what base setup you're looking at. So if you're looking at an island that has 2 mages and has a cannon, maybe an ice and a fire cannon, or ice and a fire turret, you're definitely going to use Mystic Winds because Mystic Winds is going to reverse and get rid of 3 out of the 4 or 4 out of the 5 towers there. And you're only getting hit by ice, but then you also have ice resist. So it really depends on what tower combinations you have, for sure. So cannons and blues will pop that shield. But if once those are down, pop that shield up, baby. Dixon says, I don't know what Garnet to get next. Oh, Dixon, are we going to have a breeding path talk? It sounds like we're going to have a breeding path talk. And then last, obviously, but not least, is Kanaris. So Kanaris is the sorcerer this season. Had some changes from the beginning of the season. Dodo Guardian is a never-dying summon warrior type of thing with a different prioritization of attack. What I mean by that is the typical summon will attack certain things first, and the Dodo attacks opposite, well, not opposite, but just different things first. It is undying. If you notice that your Kanaris Dodo Guardian is dying, that means you are seeing the summon glitch. Please try to make note of what dragon you're following, if they use summon before you, or if you're following a prophet. All these things make a difference, so try to keep track of the circumstances surrounding your Dodo Guardian dying, and please report it right away, because they are trying to close all of those holes right now. Earthquake, you guys saw me use on Desi when I was flying just a moment ago. It is a single cost red spell that is like a freeze, but a shorter duration. Invincibility shield, we all should know pretty well, and lightning resist, which is pretty common here. Oops, I didn't mean to do it that way. I'm sorry. Now we have to go through the loading screen. So Borgin, I definitely think should be a number 1 if you are a higher level Dixon. I think it would be the most useful dragon to get. So then it comes down to if you want Zamorak or Kanaris. Zamorak makes a better lead dragon, in my personal opinion, and Kanaris makes a significantly better cleanup dragon. So if you have someone on your team that clears all of the mages for you, then I think Kanaris could do really well. But unfortunately, once you take Kanaris' rage, she drops like a rock. So 2 good choices. I don't think there is a poor choice. For sure, these are great dragons this season. We're very lucky to have those. So Borg should definitely be first, Dixon. But then take a look, see which one you kind of like more, which spells look more interesting to you, and what needs you have. Dixon said I also have Aster, Sage, Tehran, Nightshade, and Scar. So Nightshade and Scar, you don't have Garnet Stone because those only went to Sapphire. But Aster, Sage, and Tehran you probably had at Garnet. So looking at that, Dixon, it looks like you do have a comfort with warriors. I missed it. Did you say not to get Dracus? Yes. So if but there's an asterisk there, Sharpeye. So if you got Dracus at the beginning of the season when or started to get him at the beginning of the season when he was cheaper, yeah, totally go for it. That's a completely great strategy. He was half off for a couple of weeks, but now he is full price, and I do think that Dracus is not as good as the other 3, but if you could get him for half the price, yeah, he was great. But if you're going to be playing full price at this point and just starting him, definitely go for one of the other ones instead. So, Dixon, I would recommend you get Borgin and then see if you like Zamorak or Kanaris better. Just see which one looks more interesting to you, which one you might have better needs for. There is not a bad choice at all. Numbers said, how do you get Black Pearls? Gold chests, yo. They drop from gold chests like a crazy person in Fortification if you are into that. So there's that. Let's talk about breeding real quick. I'm going to scroll up. Let's take a look. Dixon said... Ursa, Renard, Frost, and Avalanche. That's a really odd combination. Dixon, do you have a breeding path that you're following right now, boo? Natastic said, I got Dracus line, half price for the cheap items, then changed when he went full price. Natastic, that is a fabulous strategy. That's what a lot of people do, and that's what I recommend to a lot of my team that they do as well, especially with this upped sigil costs this season. That's a fantastic strategy. So let me see if I can pull this up. Hey, thank you for the follow, darling. Alrighty, so we're taking a look. So Dixon has Ursa, Renard, Frost, and Avalanche. So does that mean you're going the Gloomclaw path, Dixon? Is that what you had originally intended? Curious. Because Avalanche and Renard make Gloom here. You could do the Gloom path. I mean, you're already there. Yeah. Do the Gloomclaw path, yo. Or you could go get Icicle. It's not really going to make that much of a difference for you at this point. So if you could just get Jewel. Yeah, you got some options there, Dixon. Anyway, let's do some stuff. So I showed you Borgin. This is complicated. So usually each season I have the ability to max 2 dragons pretty easily. It's well within my comfort zone on my main, and sometimes I even get there on my alt. But this season, just the sigil drop rate has been extremely awful, and the events have been completely bad. And if you don't know me, I detest the feeding event, and I do not participate in the feeding event in any way, shape, or form because I think it's negative. So unfortunately, it looks like I'll just be able to max Borg, and then Kin's going to be completely useless, so I'll just be getting her extra prizes. So, Dixon, what was your plan? I'm curious. Very curious. Kin is pretty, though. I think Borg is neater looking, though. Alright, let's see here. Oops. Need one more Dread for War and some more Crumble to Dust, so let's switch back to my alt here. I level them and then get rid of them. That makes sense in some classical breed dragons, especially the ones that you have. Frost is pretty good, though. You might want to consider getting Frost up to snuff, depending how fast you're going to go through. Some are worth it, but Ursa and Renard and Ursa are not good dragons. Those are all pretty trashy. So things that you could do here is, let me pull up my full option page so I don't lie to you. Because wouldn't that be awful? So if you have Itaru and Apophis, you could get Jewel that way, and then get Icicle with Jewel and Ursa, and that would allow you to get Emeralds pretty quick. So that would be one of my recommendations, is consider getting Jewel next, and then get Icicle, and then once you have Icicle, getting into Emeralds is a little bit easier. So that's that. Alright, we're switching devices here. Go into the baby account. Sharp Eye says, Marine Paths are so confusing. Is there basic one for low levels to follow, easy to read? Yeah, for sure. So let me put this in chat real quick for you guys. Grab the link. On my other computer. So I have like my iPad running, my phone running, and a couple of computers running. So take a look there. On that, you can see my breeding pass. Again, my breeding pass are not the cheapest breeding pass, so if you were looking for cheap, that is not what you'll find on my website. My breeding pass are built for strength, so depending where you're at, you can take a look there. I have my red to green breeding pass up. I have 5 gold to platinum breeding pass up. And then once you follow platinum breeding pass and you get 4 out of the 5 legendaries, so you are not getting quates, then you can pick any sapphire path that you want, any sapphire path up that you want. So you could take a look there. Sharp Eyes, if you feel like you need a Sharp Eyes, if you feel like you need a custom path because you have different dragons than on some of my paths or some other paths you see, send me a message in game to Red or the Red Delilah, like my handle says over there on Twitch. Then you can send me a message and I'd be happy to help you out online. So I make custom breeding paths all the time for people. Just make sure you're nice. I only help nice people. Same for you, Dixon. So shoot me a message. Happy to help anyone make a custom path with getting dragons that you want and that you feel best for you and keeping you with a strong roster. So Dixon said I picked the best looking dragon. No, Dixon! Dixon! What? What? Oh, you're killing me, Smalls! Oh, Dixon. Oh, Dixon. Again, sorry for my see-throughness. I picked a shirt that is obviously not good for stream, but I'm running out of not green clothes. Gaza said, who invented work is getting in the way of your stream? Oh! No, you're so sweet. You're so sweet, guys. Alright, let's go fly some more XP runs, guys. So, we still have one more Zamorak. Let's get that going here. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Let's fly on this one. So this might be close to doable. So my Zammy here is only in gold tier, so which is really low. The next lowest dragon I have on my roster, I have Whale on there because we were doing some demos with him yesterday, but I'm in Sapphire tier pretty comfortably now. So he's really low for my level, but we are attacking a 175 with him. Let's see how much damage we can do with Mystic Winds. I see a lot of projectiles on this base, and I see a lot of opportunities. So let's see how well he can do, because this is a really evenly built base, which again is a bad thing. Long and evenly built. So let's go have some fun. I'm going to bring my 251 main with me, of course, just for fun. Doop, doop, doop. So those are my two accounts, the Red Delilah and Red. So the first thing when we're attacking with Zamorak is we're going to take down the things that are going to hurt us. First, you can see that it popped Mythic Winds there as soon as I saw that projectile going. I'm letting that ice turret hit me because I do have a 70% resist to that. All natural resists are 70%. So I'm letting it hit me so I can build up a little bit more rage and prepare. Coming around the corner, I know I don't have any red, so I just have a blue. So I'm really going to use Mythic Winds and try to take down that blue first and then see if I can get a shield. So I had Mythic Winds to avoid some of the damage. I'm going to take down that flak there. So that looks like it was doing some damage. You're going to see me gain some rage. There we go. So he's doing pretty well for a gold tier dragon right now. I'm going to pop my shield again, because there's no blue. I'm going to do it again. And so as long as I can keep picking up rage here, I can kind of keep the shield going indefinitely. And sometimes things will pop through and shield casts, but you can see how useful this spell is, this Dark Northern Lights. It is a fantastic spell, and it's basically super spell all the time. So there's no blue coming up. I'm going to precast it so nothing can hit me ahead of time. Cast it again, because I'm super low on life. So remember, this is a gold tier Zammy, yo. This is definitely gold tier. On a really bad base, honestly, sorry person who owns this base, but this is a poor base. It's really evenly built, etc. So I'm going to keep popping that shield because there are projectiles in the air. And now I'm using the Superheated Breath to deal more damage. So you can watch the slow draw of the health bar, and then for 5 seconds we're getting more health done to the tower, or more damage done to the tower. So that is a gold tier Zamio. On a not great, but high 100s base, 99%. I just missed a sliver of a fire turret. I'll take a look over there. That is the fire turret that I missed. I'm coming in with my Algor to use my spell real quick to get a mission done. There we go. So that's a little bit on Zammy. So if you had a question about using Mythic Winds versus Shield, hopefully that helped a little bit. You can see how incredibly useful that shield is, because you can just keep doing it over and over and over again. So that was a level 19 Zammy. One thing that you guys will definitely notice about my Dragon roster on my alt is I am never capped by you need this tier of dragon next to uncap. I'm always capped by my actual level. So Nightshade needs Den level 28, Aster needs Den level 28, and so on. My entire roster that looks like I'm ready to feed and ready to level up, I'm actually waiting my Den level, and my Den level is completely tied to my player level. So your goal should be, if you really want a strong roster and you're not looking at growing very fast, hey, thanks for hosting me, Dollface. That's so sweet. Oh, that's so kind. So if you are looking at, oh, now I'm really distracted and flustered. So if you're looking at having a strong roster, having that be your goal where your den level is what's capping you versus, oh, you need this stone to continue leveling up your divines. That's definitely really helpful. So take a look that way. So that is all the multipliers I need over there. Well, now we're going to start some food hunting while we do some multipliers. And the reason for that is my Borgian on my main is ready to level up, and he just needs a little bit more food because we sent all the food from my alt to it earlier. So let's go hunting while we do some multis. We see 85k. Ooh, look at this 127k. Yeah, let's do this one. Let's do this on a House It base. They have those low levels to help me build up mage again. Sorry for my see-through shirt. Yeah, so let's give this a go, shall we? Let's have some fun with House It, get the multiplier done, and then we'll follow with my main account so I can help myself but also get all that food. Doop, doop, doop. I'm going to leave those towers for my main to hit and build up some rage. So I'm not going to use the rewind ability on House It. I'm going to tap and get out of that. And remember the House It little antenna on either side of his head stand for how much time energy we have left. So this means that I have both my rewind abilities left. I'm going to get out of it. So I'm sanding. What I'm doing now is trying to lead the best I can for my alt, or for my main with my alt. Now we're using borrowed time. Borrowed time, of course, means I am dead, but I get to continue attacking anyway, because that is House It. Well, I'm out for the day. It was fun watching you live stream. Hope to see you another day. Yeah, Dixon, I hope to see you again soon. It's been a lot of fun. Again, let me know if there's anything I can do to help. Alright, this is my Aster I have coming up here. Sorry. I always forget when I switch accounts that are attacking with who I can use here. So Aster is coming up. Aster reminds me of Pixel's old hair colors a bit. So everything is sanded here. So I'm just going to take my time and get the mage last so I don't accidentally get hit by the mage super shot. There we go. Coming up to the Long Island, I'm going to take out that red first because the blue is sanded, so let the blue slow me down. Oops. So I do have an invincibility shield on hold here, just in case the need arises. There we go. Alright, so I'm checking the tower levels with my alt here. See that it's not going to be a problem for my Aster. This is my Expert Emerald tier Aster from last season. Last season I did get to max Aster, which was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this dragon. He's a lot of fun. So I maxed Aster and Fae last event with this account. So that's why I'm still really disappointed that I'm not even going to get close to maxing 2 dragons this season. So that's a bit of a bummer. But it is what it is, right? We'll get through it. No food! Boo. Alright. I'm gonna have to go get another glass of water here in a minute. See if I have a different sweater I can put on so I'm not see-through on my stream. This cracks me up. The downfalls of owning so much green. There's a lot of food there. Let's go steal theirs. I'm going to fly it with one of my cap dragons because getting XP on them is not a big deal. So here's my Aster on my mini. Do you think sigil costs would be even worse next season? Yes. Yes. Because next season we will be seeing Obsidian in the normal lines, and if what they did with Emerald is any indication with what they're going to do with Obsidian, I'd say we're looking at another 8,000 per branch, personally. That's not my hope. That's based on experience. So ideally what I'd like to see them do is reduce the cost to get to Emeralds that we see now, and then have that 5,000 for just the Obsidian, but I really, really doubt PG is going to do that. Just because, you know, they have a moneymaker here. Why? So, my bet is about 8K more expensive. Ooh, I'm gonna die. Resurrection. Actually well timed that time. It doesn't happen for me very often. We actually have resurrection that's planned like that. Aster, I'm so proud of you. Did so well with resurrection. That fireball was well placed. Oh, Aster. Can you explain the mega coin? Yes, I'd be happy to explain the mega coin. So before we talk about the ones that people got for free, you had the opportunity to get 2 for free. Everyone in the game got 1, and then if you had a Great Valor left over, which used to drop from gold chests, then you also got a free mega coin. Take a look at that. I will pull up here on the forums so I can give you the exact stats, because like I said, Gaza has given us a really good rundown of the point strategy. So basically we have our basic attack, correct? And we all know how the basic attack works. You get the points that you see, things like that. I thought, or was it bugs and feedback, Gaza? So we have the basic attack. We know how the super attack works, where it takes 20 energy, but it doesn't give you as much points as a basic attack would if you did basic attack. 20 energy worth of basic attacks. Alright, I'm really sorry, I'm trying to find the math here. I'll pull it up here while we do that. Okay, so I have Gaz's feedback pulled up here so I can talk you through the correct math. So if I were to attack here, I'm not actually going to attack. So here are the attack things that we have coming up. So you can see at the bottom I have the inventory there where I have 128 energy right now. I have 1 inner fire. I have 2 mega coins because I did have Great Valor. And then you can see my rubies there. My basic attack will cost me 4 energy and I get 1 bonus. So it's 1 for 1, very even. The super attack costs 20 energy. So that is 5 more. 5 times 4 is 20. But you're only getting 4 times bonus. Mega coins, you can purchase, and they cost 100 energy and 20 inner fires. Yeah. So if you want to do the math real quick on how much energy you could do, or how many basic attacks you could do for on energy, let's do that real quick. What is that? Huh? Anyone want to know? Anyone guess? What's 100 divided by 4? 25? Is that right? I don't know. Let's calculate because I don't trust myself. Yeah. So it's 25 attacks. So you're doing 25 basic attacks worth of energy, plus you're wasting some inner fires. It's just not worth it unless you are a whale and your goal is to just get a ton of points and you don't have time to play and you just want to buy your way to winning. That's what the mega coin is for. So the mega coin is for people to buy a win. If you still have your free mega coins, talk to your leaders, see when they want you to use them. My team has been instructed to save them right now, so we have not used we have about 100 something mega coins, or probably between 80 something and 100 mega coins on the team right now. Assuming no one bought any, and give you a huge bonus. So since Tug of War, it matters what your score is at the end of the event. So if we take a look at the targeted teams, if it's white, it's neutral. If it's over the green line, it's ours. If it's over the red line, it's theirs. You could get it over the line with 1,000 point difference. So mega attack is typically going to give you about 3,000. So basically, you can't steal people's flags unless you assume that you have to have, at least like 30,000 over the line. Because what if people are using their mega attacks and the other team uses several mega attacks at once? It just, yeah. That's a mega attack. So if that didn't really help Sharp, let me know. It's how people buy a win. That's what it is. There's no strategy to it. It is a poor choice for free players. It's a poor choice for moderate spenders, and it's a poor choice for spenders who are frugal, who are very careful with how they spend money. But unfortunately, it has completely ruined this event. So that's that. Let's go steal some food. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. My throat's starting to get weird. I might have to go get some water after this attack, guys, so I can wash down the scratchiness. This cold is getting me. I'm telling you. Gaza, you're funny. Gaza's refusing to acknowledge that there's an event, and I agree with Gaza. Sharp Eye, I like your explanation. You keep it real. I try to. Like I said, I'm typically a really strong supporter of PG, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's silly to lie to you. I love PG, and I think what they're trying to do what they think is best, but they don't understand how much the Mega Coin has negatively impacted the rest of us. And with the removal of Valors and bonus meters, yeah, it lets you play how you want, and so you don't feel like you're pressured to play all the time and build up this bonus meter. But they didn't reduce the prizes to match the 150%, bonus that we could get. They didn't change it. I think they reduced it by 30%. So they didn't help us. They made it worse, plus giving people a way to buy a win. There is no other way to say it. It's not buying it to move faster or because you don't have time. They gave the ability for a team to buy a win. That's it. That's it. That's what this is. And if this wasn't an event that was so focused on how many attacks or how many points you could get at the very end, I might feel differently. But since this matters what you get now, I think that makes a difference. So like Conquer the World, for instance. I don't think I'd be nearly as upset if Megacoin was in Conquer the World, because Conquer the World is not a time-sensitive event. It does not matter how fast you could take someone else's land, right? It is what it is, and you also are accumulating victory points as you go through this event. But unfortunately, Tug of War is an event that really just matters what those last 3 minutes are. That's it. And so they've introduced a new pay-to-win system in the worst event possible. So, I don't know. I don't feel like lying to you guys. I feel like that's more harmful to the community when I lie. So, let's take a look here. We have some 39s. They have the strong towers up front, and it looks like everything else is a really low level except for that fire turret. So, let's go have some fun with How, kids. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop. Alright. Sand, all the things. Mm-hmm. I didn't get that fire down. Harrison said, let's see. Worst event, I barely played the last few days. I'll try my best tomorrow. Hold on, I have to continue attacking. But I'm just looking forward to Fort. Yeah, you're definitely not alone there, Harrison. Gaza says you're going to get upset again. Yeah, it's this resigned, I recognize that there's nothing you can do anymore, right? Like this, what's the point in getting upset? I'm just choosing to acknowledge this event isn't here, which is a bummer because I've been struggling so hard with sigils this season, just due to the lower drop rates, due to the events that they put out, the feeding event, which is dumb. Yeah, so. No ties in my screen. I'll give him some hearts. Ty is one of my officers. We just promoted him just about a week ago. He's a sweetheart. He's super positive, and I really love being in a team with him. He's so kind. He has 3 accounts on a team. One of them is one that he is running because we had a player retire, which is Crib. So he went through the process with Crib and PG, so he got the permission from PG to be gifted the account from Crib, so he didn't buy it from him or anything. Crib just wanted to keep his account in the team because Crib had been on the team since he was level 20. So he wanted to keep the account with Ruleth, and so he gave it to Ty. And if none of you were available or aware already, you do have the ability to talk to PG and gift your account to someone, but you cannot sell it for a profit. You will get caught. A lot of players who've bought accounts have gotten caught. Dopesh says, why do you think feeding event is dumb? I'm happy to show you, Dopesh. So just give me a second. We'll go back to the main screen. Feeding event encourages players to play the game to save. So we're already saving egg tokens, but that kind of makes sense because egg tokens, doesn't matter if you spend it, 10,000 increments or if you spend, all at once for a dragon. It doesn't matter. It's all the same. So saving for a breeding event makes sense. For a fort event, all of our towers take a lot of time, and the higher level you get, the towers start to take more time than we have between fortification events. So let's see if I have any towers building on my main right now. I do. I have my storage still going. I started my storage last fortification in about the middle, which is when I finished the event for myself, and it still has 12 days left. So saving clocks for fortification makes sense as well, because you're going to get to a point, even in mid-level gameplay, where saving your clocks does make a difference. So you can use your clocks now, or you're going to use them later. And most people just have their longer builds going between fortifications, so that's pretty easy. Feeding event, however, if you're not feeding your dragons now, a lot of times you're going to cripple your roster. And I get that with this new divine system, a lot of people are just benching their traditional dragons as soon as they're breedable, but that's not necessarily the best choice. A lot of times the traditional dragons are better. So some examples will be, if we take a look at my roster, I obviously have some divines on here. Whale should not be on this roster. I'm actually going to take him off before I get a mission for him, because we're just using him as an example today, so I'm going to take him off real quick. Alright. So we have Nightshade, obviously fall season divine, Aster, spring season divine. Sekhem is a traditional bred sapphire dragon. I use him more. I would say I like him more than Aster. Different uses than Nightshade. Snowdrop I think is awful. Howzit is fantastic. Tengu's useful. Itaru is poop. Scorchel I actually think is really great for a traditional bred dragon here. So this is what we're looking at. I think those are great spells for warrior personally. And then this last spot here will be filled by Frostbiter, who's also a traditionally bred dragon, which are great. And a lot of times my traditionally bred dragons are stronger, like Howzit. So keep that in mind. But then look at all these exclamation points. I can't feed any of these. In order to earn points on a feeding event, I would have to level up. So let's say I did that during this fort. Go to my next den cap, level up, not feed my dragons, so have them be the same power they were when I was a lower level, but be a higher level myself, and then feed them all at once in a feeding event when that's when everyone else is doing, so there's no food to raid. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't want to handicap myself that way. I don't want to waste my clocks to level up and then stay with the same power I was when I was weaker. And then we have a different problem. So if you haven't already hit the Sapphire Wall with breeding is when you get Sapphire Tier, and it is significantly lower to level up dragons. And so let's take a look. Thank you for the follow, Dixon. Let's take a look at my mains roster here. Expert. Borgine, I'm still working on feeding. Faye has one more level. Expert. Can't level her up because she has stones, and expert. So I don't have anything to feed. I'm out of things to feed, to be completely honest. And perches and the total number of dragons you can always feed, perches don't make that much of a difference. They don't, and I only have one perch. So are you telling me that instead of feeding the dragons, which I could feed, right, or helping my teammates feed actual dragons, so I could feed Kaiju to expert because he's not, or I could go here, feed my perch for like 20k, that's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. And I feel like it just wastes the food economy when you guys could be using your food to actually level your normal dragons. So I'm not saying you can't like the event. I think this event is awful because I literally have nothing left to do. It encourages people to handicap themselves by not leveling their dragons, by not feeding their dragons, and it drains the food economy. We're just getting the food economy to a place where it should be, where I can actually raid for my teammates. But you're right, level 200 plus. Do you know how much food it takes to level our dragons? And so all these small increments, everyone just wants points in the event, and they don't think about what's best. And thankfully, Rulith, we have a system for this. But look, if I feed Faye, look how much food I have to gather. Do you think that's possible during the feeding event without playing? Because it's not. So I'm reduced to in the feeding event in order to participate doing purges, which is a waste of food. I'm sorry, it's just a waste of food at my level. It's just it's a platinum purge. It's not doing much. Waste the food. I can waste the food on an old dragon that I don't have expert yet, just for points. Or I could be helping my teammates who actually have legitimate dragons level up. And so on Rulith, what we do for feeding event is we have priority feeds. So in our resource chat, you post how much you want for a single dragon, and you have to put the qualifier with it. Is this a priority feed, meaning it's a main dragon that's a strong dragon on your roster? Is this a breeding feed, meaning this dragon is not yet breedable, but you need to get it breedable? Or is this an event feed? And if you put an event feed in there, people are not required to give you food or do not have to feel expected to give you food. And if you put an event feed in there and somebody puts a priority or a breeding feed after you, they get the food before you do. So we feed event feeds very last. A lot of my teammates do choose to participate in it, but I think it's teaching players to play handicapped. And I think they're just ruining how you want to play. Because why are you wasting food on dragons you don't need? Why are you wasting food when other people on your team could be feeding dragons? Why aren't you focusing on leveling the dragons that are better first? Why are you worried about not feeding your dragons so you have 7 levels to feed at the feeding event? That seems really silly to me. So I'm very against the feeding event, and I think it's the worst event. And on top of that, talk about the points you're getting. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, if you want sigils, why can't we actually have an event that you have to work hard to earn sigils instead of one that's based on how much you've handicapped yourself or how many dragons you haven't fed yet? So I really don't like the event. I think it's an awful event. You're welcome to like it. I'm not saying you're a bad person for liking it, but I think it's personally awful. Copperhead, no, I'm not streaming tonight, so I posted on Twitter. I'm just changing my schedule a bit to make my life just a little bit easier schedule-wise. Pardon. This weekend. So I'm streaming this morning. I'm going to take this whole night off and tomorrow morning off, and I'm going to stream tomorrow night. And so hopefully that'll rest my voice enough, and I'll be able to do some medicine stuff and whatnot. So I'm not going to stream till tomorrow. Gaza said, I think we should get a coup going to make you see PG. Fun fact, I actually applied to work for PG. So if you guys are familiar with the forums, Egg Token was hired at the beginning of this year to kind of replace Joseph and become the player liaison. And I actually applied for that job and was not selected. So little factor there. Like, I legit applied, my real resume. I wrote a resume for it. I wrote a new cover letter for it and stuff. So yeah, Sharp Eye, I'm fighting a cold right now. So you can hear like the coughs and the weird. My voice sounds really odd today. I'm fighting a cold. Lots of cold medicine and lots of allergy meds because I'm not really sure what's what right now. So I do have a pretty severe dust allergy, right? Pretty sure everyone does. Until this week, feeding was the worst. Droop, I agree. So I think I have to go with what you're saying. Feeding event is now the second worst event in my mind. Thank you for that positivity there. So feeding event isn't as bad as it once was. That's good to know. I actually, speaking of sick, I'm going to take about a 3-minute break. I'm going to go get some more ice water and then pop and take some a little bit more meds to try to make myself feel a bit better. And then we're going to do some more flying coming up soon. So I'll see you guys shortly. Alright, hi guys, welcome back. Sharp Eye, yeah. I have a lot of cold stuff I can do, but unfortunately I can't do all those things while I'm, streaming live. But I have like Halls and some Vicks and should probably get some tea. Yeah. It's not a terrible cold, but when I'm talking for a couple hours a day, it wears down. Just general teacher stuff. I have to build my immunity back up. But water helps a lot, so yeah. Well, hi guys. So what I want to do real quick now is I just collected all my food, so now I have enough to feed Borg, so I thought we could do that together real quick. My Borgain, so he is 37. He is obviously not ready to evolve yet, thankfully, because I do not have the Garnet Stone, or the Emerald Stone, all I have is Garnet. So let's train him real quick here. He does have a little bit of XP built up for another couple of levels, so why don't we finish his multis real quick on this account, and then we are going to finish hunting with my alt. So we can get some more food and stuff, yeah? So again, sorry for my see-through shirt today, or my green shirt today that's being green screened. Alright, so we're pulling up Ala. Hey Borg, see if anyone wants to come with us. So I always like to take out that farm first on Ala, just because that farm ends up healing these fires, and it makes it a pain in my butt. So I don't remember who asked before, but how do I make the decision between Thunderbolt and using Healing Mark? Is if I have more than 2+ bars of rage, then I'll definitely use Thunderbolt once, but I always want to make sure I have enough to do a Healing Mark to keep myself alive, or to do a cloak, or a combination of the two, so that way I can stay alive. Because that's the goal. I'm going to be able to do the damage, right? That's typically not going to be a problem. But it's staying alive to do the damage here. I love Borgian. Such a fun dragon for the season. Again, I think it's the runes that make me love him so much. Having runes that actually be able to go on dragons at my level really makes a difference. So on the forums with the new runic chests, which Jared said there are improvements, and I'm very thankful that Jared made some improvements. We talked to Jared a couple of streams ago. I don't know if you guys were here. So Jared popped on the stream and he asked me, and he asked you guys in chat a couple of opinion questions on the runic chests and silver chests and runes and things in general. And so we had a nice chat with Jared, and one of the things that we as a chat, as a little stream community here on our stream talked about were the fact that there were no guaranteed drops for mythics and legendaries, and now we do have those. So every 10 that you buy for runic chests, you will get a guaranteed mythic or legendary, plus the bonus after you buy 30, etc. So Jared posted some polls on the forums, like 10 polls, so he pulled, 50, 60 runic chests so we can see an idea of what they look like and what's in there. And it looks like we have some new runes, guys. So my friend Tony, loves Santa Monica, he comes in our stream all the time. Tony pulled some and posted that he got, I think, a ice and a fire base rune. So that's fantastic. So those exist now. So I'm excited to see if we'll see those in silver chests as well. So for those of you who are stronger than me and actually have been saving your silver runes, your silver chest, your rune chests, and have like a huge portion of those, keep holding on to them because new runes are on the horizon. So I need to stop myself from opening them, but I struggle to save chests. I'm not very good at that. So one more Borg run, and then we're going to do some food hunting. Oh, goodness. So you guys can kind of tell my voice is getting like that. It reminds me of the episode of Friends, if you guys have ever watched that show, where Phoebe gets sick and she's got like the like scratchy, sick, sexy voice, which I don't have, but when she sings and it's like really fantastic, and then she gets well and then she's trying to get sick again because she wants to sound that way. And yeah, there's also a Family Guy episode with that, I think, too, where Peter gets sick and Lois is really into his sick voice. Fun times. I like some shows. I'm a binge watcher on Netflix. We don't have cable just because we don't want it. There's really no reason for us to get cable, really, because we have the internet. Great internet, too, thankfully. So I binge watch a lot of Family Guy, Futurama, and American Dad. I'm just about done with another round of Family Guy. So I've seen like all of those episodes for each show. I'd say 8 or 9 times. Coming close there. At least 4 each. And so I think American Dad is my next one because I finished Futurama again a couple weeks ago. So we have to do another American Dad set of run-throughs here. Oops. I wish that when I did Healing Mark and got above the red threshold, that I would get the red bar to go away. That would be really helpful. Or not the red bar, the red flashy. That's not fun because it always makes me panic. Like, I'm dying. But then I'm like, oh, I have full health. Why am I panicking here? You know? But one day, I guess I just actually have to watch my health. Part of the reason is when I'm tapping with a single finger, which is what I'm doing right now for Borg, because I'm running out of Hunter taps and because I'm using Healing Mark. So like I have my fingers covering that part of the screen oftentimes, and so I just can't see the health as much. So the red flashing always makes me continue to panic. And sometimes I waste Healing Marks if I'm not fully paying attention, you know. Yeah, Nadtastic. I've definitely panicked many times. I was like, I'll use Healing Mark before I die. I'm like, oh, I was already at pretty much full health. Darn. Alright, let's go hunting. We are going to hunt with my alt account simply because of the co-protection. My alt sees more food than my main does. And plus my alt has some multipliers to do. So 2 birds with 1 stone, get some more food, and we're going to get some multis done and some runs done. We do have to make sure, focus on, let's try to get 2 crumble to dust done while we're doing that. So we're going to switch devices here on my screen. One day, if I actually get like a 3rd monitor and we get going with that, then I won't have to have the switching devices screen. I can just literally switch scenes, and so it's pretty seamless. But in the meantime, I'm pretty sure my laptop and my 2 monitors here on my desktop are enough. Bits and pieces, guys. We'll slowly get there. Alright, no tokens there, no token missions. Oops, I forgot to turn you guys on. There we go. Alrighty. Let's look for some food. If it is max XP, that would be helpful. Hey, look at that. So we're going to add that to bookmarks there, and we're going to steal the bigger amount. Long base. Okay, let's play the game, chat. If anyone can point out the single... let's pick 3 major flaws in this base. There are more than 3. Let's see if you in chat can find 3 flaws in this base. Go. And I'll sit here and chat. See if you can figure out these 3 flaws. It's got more than 3, that is for sure. So this is a 225. It has a defense power of 12.1 million. What is wrong with it? What makes this base significantly easier than the level might tell us? This is another reason in war, by the way, when you want to actually look at the base and not just assume the base is easy or hard, you know, on its level, it really makes a difference on what you're seeing there. So let's see if you guys can point out what's wrong with this base, because there's quite a few. Let's see if you guys can get 3. Dance party. I'm definitely going to hit it with how, that's for sure. Yeah, so it's long. Not enough mages. Towers are pretty equal, says Arison. Very much sure. Now, Nadtastic says middle island mages. Yeah, those are really weird. We're going to see mages. Ballistas! Do you guys see? There are more than 1 ballista! Why does this person have 3 ballistas? 4! This person has 4 ballistas. Grouped storms. For some reason, I'm sure they have like storm runes there, but they don't realize that the storm runes don't really work like that. Really built evenly. Oh, geez, right? So I would say the biggest downfalls are, I'm sure that this might be a red mage at the start of the long, but it's building. So instead of swapping it out with that back red mage, they just left the building tower and weakened the defense that way. Really evenly built across the board. They have 4 ballistas. Like, no, this is wrong. This is wrong. So every time we do this, I'm not trying to tear this person down, but we're trying to point out to make sure that we don't make the same mistakes other people do. On my original account, I built a long base because no one told me. I didn't know better. You know, this is really back in the day, and a lot of you know, I'm sure, that it's really hard to come back from that. So it's much easier to start with a better base than it is to fix a bad one. So those group storms are funny. I'm sure I've told you guys before too that storms used to make each other invincible, so having 2 next to each other was actually the best thing on the planet because you just couldn't kill anything. It was wonderful, but then they obviously fixed that because that was super broken. So let's fly How here. Let's see how far my little tiny How can get. Those first lightnings might pose a bit of a problem, but we'll see. We will see. Doop. Alright, let's get these in. Flying slow, letting the sand slow us down. We take out one of their massive number of storms on this island here. There we go. Pretty easy peasy so far. Probably didn't even need to use that reverse, but better safe than sorry in this instance. I'm going to blink this time. So again, I didn't use the reverse ability, so I still have that single time shift ability left. Alright. So you can see I got a triple sand. Look at that. I was going to use crumble, but that triple sand just made it unnecessary. So that happens if you're far enough away on the Long Island. If I was aiming just for the red, and I happened to be far enough away where I also could sand the 2 on either side of it. So that was fun. I love when that happens. So I know that there is no red on the next, so I'm precasting crumble to give myself time to build up rage. Come here, do a little bit of crumble. We'll do a blink. There we go. Oh, the importance of building a right base, right guys? I'm pretty sure we can all see that pretty well now. Blink. Probably could have sanded if I was lower on health before I kind of came out of the time shift, but not necessary. Alright, and we're through. Let's hopefully see if we stole all of his food. I hope so for sure. Yep, 114k there, and my main has 38 from stealing there. Let's send this away to myself. A lot of times, I've said this before, when I'm doing my multis, I will do my multis like this, but hunt for the people that have it in research chat. But I don't like to pull up my group chats and everything in the game while I'm on live stream, because if I do that, then you guys might see some conversations in group chat that I don't want you to see. Not because they're inappropriate, just private information. I don't want to risk my team's privacy that way. So that is why I'm just transferring it to myself rather than another teammate. I just want to make sure that you guys don't see something that they won't want you to see. Alright, so we bookmarked this guy earlier. Let's go steal all his stuff. This is a much stronger base, we can see, but it is still a How-friendly base. Why is this a How's-it-friendly base? Someone can point it out, I'm sure. It's not a bad base. You know, it's got the strong sections, some good things happening. But it's a How-friendly base for 2 really big reasons. See if you guys can find the 2 reasons. Not enough blue mages. There's only 1! There is a single one on the Long Island, so as soon as we do that, we can do some lovely time shift thing. The other thing I would point out that I think it makes great for How is the farms are at the back of the island, so at the very end, which gives me more time to build up some crumble to dust, so I could just crumble that rather than doing something else. So that is another thing that I think makes it easier for How, is I no longer have to worry about saving rage to take down towers, is I can crumble that. Oh, for sure, Nadtastic. The Dragon Purse will definitely allow us to build some rage. Gaza said, can these streams be watched at a later date? Yeah, so if you are on my channel, you can go and click at the very top next to my name where it says videos, and if you click videos, it'll show you my previous streams. So after streams are done, they get posted there. I do have an archive that way. And then after about a week or two, I'll start uploading these to YouTube as well. So if you want to watch my YouTube channel, I'll upload some of the better streams. So you guys can watch them there as well if they're really old. But right now, we're just still kind of baby into streams. We've only been streaming for just over a week and a half, I think. So yeah, you can just click videos and you can see my previous streams. There are 7 there right now that you can watch. The only stream that is now available to watch is my very first one, because I chose not to let that archive because we had a lot of tech issues going on and I didn't really want that to be anyone's first impression of the stream. So, but yeah, you can definitely watch them at a later date under videos. How doesn't have any multipliers left, but I always love building XP on my good dragons, yeah? Gaza, you're such a sweetheart. I wish I had Ferga so we could talk about some Ferga flying. Let's see. Alright, we're going to sand that blue, and then we're going to do some lovely time shifty shift. Oops, wrong sand. Ah, shoot. No, I missed. How did I miss that? Well, damn it. Bad red. I should be really disappointed in my flying right now. How did I... Must have not been paying attention. There was some cat meowing. Didn't sound like my cat, though. Just odd. Oh well. It is what it is. Everyone makes mistakes, and that would be one of mine for sure. Not concerned. Just here to take his food. My son asked if you're a teacher because you sound like one. Yes, Nadtastic, I'm a teacher. That's funny. It's my husband calls it my teacher voice, and he doesn't like when I turn it on. I don't think I have it on right now, though, but I think this is just kind of my speaking voice now. Gaza said, I'll let you use mine, that way I can learn how to fly him. Oh, you're a hoot, Gaza. You'll get there. Like I said, each dragon has some pros and cons, and one of the things with Ferga is the healing mark thing that we talked about with Borg, is if you have a bunch of healing marks on him, that's what makes him great, and if you don't have a bunch of healing mark runes on him, then he's not as good. So one of the things that typically makes Ferga so great that people love is the fact that they can put runes on him. So I think that's my dog, my little puppy, the little one. Arison asked, how did he get so good at using hunters? Honey, will you give me Xena? I'm gonna get a puppy. So I'm gonna break you guys for just a second while I grab the puppy, so it'll just be a few seconds, okay? Alright guys, you have met Xena before. This is the puppy. She's getting a case of some old man face and her puppy face is coming in. So this is my golden doodle puppy. She's a couple weeks old. She was born on April 25th. So she's what, about 14 weeks old or so? So she's the one that you guys have been hearing bark. She's super chill most of the time, but she likes to bark at Tofu, the kitty. We saw the cat earlier. So she's going to hang out for a second because everyone likes some puppy time. She's a big puppy, though. I like big dogs. Isn't she sweet? Xena Warrior Princess. Xena! What's over there? She likes belly rubs and some rubs. So this is Xena. I'll hold her for a bit since she was barking. So Harrison asked, how did he get so good at using hunters? A lot of practice. Like I said, the more you can practice on non-XP bases, the better, and just recognizing the different strategies to use when you're flying hunters. So we've talked briefly about using hunters that don't have steel essence, so I'll pull up Nightshade so you guys can take a look. So Nightshade is one of the best dragons to practice on. You can also use what are the dragons? So Etna is a really good one to practice with, and then once you get into Steel Essence, like in the gold tier with Urasanu is the very first one, and then Whale especially is one of the best one. a lot of practice and understanding how the spells fit together. So it's not just one spell you need to learn how to use and whatnot, it's all the dragon spells put together. Right, Xena? Do you want to play some dragons? She's usually a really chill puppy. She sleeps a lot. She's like, ma'am, what are you doing? You just want to go play with the cat. Oh, you're such a sweetheart. So a lot of practice, and then make sure you know the 3-finger tip and the 1-finger tip. So when I'm flying on my iPad and my phone, my left hand should do all of the spells, and my right hand, my right hand does all the tapping. So I use 1 finger or 3 fingers or 2 fingers, depending on the needs of the base. Hi. What you doing? You enjoying belly rubs? You're famous, Xena. You're on the stream. She's not even like that big. So let's see if I can get her little body up here. This is the puppy. She's big for a puppy though. What we like big dogs here. Well, I like big dogs. My husband gets. Look at the little paws. She says hello. My paws. I'm so cute. Dogs make the world a better place. We don't deserve dogs, but I have 2. So this is the little one, and then I have the big one, which is Conan. So let me pause you again real quick so I can put her back. She does have huge paws. She's going to be a big girl. So my big golden doodle is about 70 pounds, so she'll be about that size too. So be right back. I'm going to put Xena back. Okay, back. I just wanted to put her down real quick, and I have to stand up and kind of reach around my green screen to do that. Nedtastic says, chill dog, mine is sleeping beside me. Oh, that's so sweet. My dogs can both be hyper and chill. A lot of times Conan will sleep, my big one will sleep underneath my feet, or at my feet underneath the desk. She does a lot of sleeping, Xena does. So, but yeah, they're pretty sweet dogs, but they get really excited when they see it. How long are you streaming for today? We'll probably stop in about 30 minutes or so. So we started at 11 o'clock my time, and we're getting close to 1. So we'll probably do a few more multis. So not too much longer, unless you guys have some questions or certain things you want me to go over and I get sidetracked. But otherwise, I don't want to talk too much at you guys. I'm not sure how we're doing today, so. Basically, for as long as I can keep you guys entertained. Does that answer your question, Harrison? As long as I can keep you entertained is always the right answer. Copperhead says, it seems like dogs find the need to be annoying right in the middle of war runs. That happens so much. So we have a lot of teammates where we'll be backing them and whatnot in war, and suddenly they do really weird things. We're like, what are you doing? It's like, sorry, puppy interference. So yeah, it happens a lot. Yeah, totally have been there. Harrison says, my cat meows during runs. That's when she wants attention. My cat has been super sweet sometimes, and Tofu will just like come bump his head against me, obviously wanting to be pet when I'm flying. Especially when I'm flying hunters. And then Conan, my big dog, he's got a big head, and he'll just like shove his nose like underneath my hand and my arm, saying, you're petting me now. It's time to pet me. And I'm like, no. Sometimes for war runs, if it's a really difficult one where I know that if I make a mistake, things won't go very well, I have to like stand up and like get out of their way, or maybe I should go hide in a corner. She bumps against my hand, big distraction. Totally been there. Completely get that. Faux show. Alright, let's go steal some people's stuff. Alright. Ooh, look at that. Look at that food, guys. Let's go steal the food. Go Snowdrop. I rarely use Snowdrop. Like I said, the healing mark thing, they're not very good unless you have runes on that, and I didn't put any of my healing mark runes on Snowdrop because I don't like him. You're welcome to like him. Just because I don't like something or like something doesn't mean that you have to. Just not my favorite dragon. The lack of ability to have extra attack doesn't do. At what level does food become hard to come by? I would say high 100s. So 190 or so, 185, somewhere around there is my guess. It changes, it's very fluid. As the game environment changes and as the average level base in the game changes, so does the area when food becomes less available to raid. So last year, the reason I started my alt in the first place was I kept it at level 50 because level 50 used to be the prime spot to hunt food. And then it switched and it became like level 75 to 90, and then it became like 90 to 110. And now it's like, oh, you can find it pretty well as long as you're below like 150. So I really think it changes, and it's pretty fluid. And as we get more higher levels in the game, there are more higher levels that we can steal food from. But one of the reasons being a lower level stealing food makes it easier is because then there's no code to protect people. But as there are more high levels, see, there we go, Snowdrop's inability to deal extra damage. But as we get to a higher level, and if there aren't a lot of people around your level, that's when it gets hard. So it's fluid. So say if you're in the hundreds right now, you'll probably be safe for quite some time. All right, we need to fly something to crumble to dust. So let's pull out my expert how here. We'll just finish up 2 crumbles, and we're done. So I like to fly with this one. I can show you guys though if you want. So let me pop over to my main and I'll show you guys what my matchmaking looks like. It's a lot better since they increased farms from 35 to 45, that's for sure. All right, let's send this food away so it doesn't get stolen, because food that's in the air is safe. Send that away, and then let's switch devices real quick, and I'll pull up my main account. Here we go. Let's go take a look with my main. So let's look through here. So we see 13. Let's see the FIDUS. So we have a 95k. That's pretty good. 88. Yeah, it's actually not bad on my main right now. But you can kind of see, so we have that 95. You can see that the low, there's a 96. So it's not nearly as bad as it used to be. I think the farms really changed everything. And the feeding event, okay, here's the benefit to the feeding event on my side. Now people are not feeding the dragons, which means there's more food. I was reading a breeding path, and I think the minimum is 154 for ANA, so that's my goal. It'll take months, but that dragon is so cool. ANA is the shit, man. I love ANA. That minimum sounds pretty right. Pretty right. So, like, here. Let's do... On this one, let's see if we can set up this base for ANA. Let's see how well we can do this. So this is me, expert house it here. I'm going to take the look at this base one more time. Hey, low levels. Okay. So I'm going to set up a base for ANA. My goal is to get rid of every mage tower, and if I can do that, ANA can do anything. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. My buddy and I tested this. Oops. Not doing this right already. My buddy and I tested this the other day with ANA and Noctua to see what we could do. And so his Noctua took out every single mage tower, and it was like a 300 plus base. I think it was 350s, 360s, and ANA cleared it, the rest of it, as long as there's no mages left, you know? So again, I'm using time shift to blink rather than to to rewind at this point. I will rewind on this island though, because this is where all the hard stuff is. So my goal is to take out everything here, sand, everything we can. Rewind. Take this out before it can hit me. There we go. So as long as everything is sanded, it does well. Erison says a 300 to 350 base. I'd love to see it. Yeah, so it's, like I said, for ANA, it has to be set up well. So a sorcerer is always going to be that way if there's no mage towers. But one thing that makes ANA better than just any other sorcerer with no mages is the fact that ANA cannot be out-hammered. The use of Southern Cross makes that. And so I'll show you that in just a second. So these aren't particularly high-level towers that we're seeing here because this is only in the 250s and it's a long base. But we'll see if we can do this setup again right after this. See if we can find some more food this way. So what I'm doing is I'm just purely setting this up, and that is my last mage tower, I believe. So I'm going to swap. Let's go get A and A. So there's no mage towers left, so I'm not going to even boost A and A here. I'm switching to Northern Lights or Southern Cross Dark. Oh, I thought it was going to crash. So Southern Cross deals a lot of damage. It's a fireball type area of effect, and it gets rage back if you destroy a tower, but you have to cast it just right in order to gain rage back, else it doesn't quite work, which is frustrating. But since you gain rage back and you're dealing all this damage, you can kind of just keep doing this over and over again, and it deals enough damage to the point where it can't be hammered. Oh, there, it just failed. So it does have bugs, unfortunately, but I think Alex reported it on the forums, and I'm hoping they look into it soon, and I've made reports on it as well. But the ability to gain rage back is what makes the difference. So it's actually easier if I wouldn't have destroyed as many towers, because then I'd have more towers to gain rage back from. So this is an instance where a hammer spam, you could see, doesn't help. Those are max level farms. There was no health left. Thankfully, it worked correctly, and I gained rage back from it. And then for my very last hit on the final tower, I will do health, and you can see I got all my health back. So that's Southern Cross. Let's see if we can find a slightly higher level base. I'm not super great at setting up for A and A yet, because I just started doing this, and I haven't really played much this weekend. But let's see if we can find a better base, yeah? So while I'm doing this as well, another benefit to having an alt is my alt is watching for defense notifications on my main, so that way I can see if I'm getting hit or not, which is very helpful. Alright, let's see if we can find someone else with food. Ooh, this is a max level base. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this one. So this is 375. Those level 50 towers are going to completely destroy me. Doesn't hurt to try, right? I'm gonna equip, let's see, to take a look again at that Long Island. I really need summons, yo. Shoot. Alright, this is a 375, 379 million base. I honestly don't think I'll be able to get as far as I want with A and A, so I'm planning on using House It. We'll do some A and A cleanup, and then I'm anticipating using a third dragon as well. So just so you know, I'm not great with How if there's the double blue on the long, and if we get defenders, we be screwed. Just because of my own flying, not because of the combination or anything. But cross your fingers. Woohoo! This makes me so nervous. Alright, ah, shit, what hit me? Cloak glitch again. God damn it. Not nearly as far as I was hoping to get. I'm so sorry. I was hoping to at least sand something on the long. But I can show you how A and A does against level 50 towers at the very least. Precast. So those level 50 towers go down with one hit. This is where I die, though. Yeah. Southern Cross is great animation, that's for sure. Alright, here comes Desi. Come on, baby. Shit. This isn't going very well, guys. Oh, it's farms. Thank Jesus. Ah. But at least you guys can see a little bit about Southern Cross. If I would have given a better lead or a stronger dragon, things like that, or if we wouldn't have gotten hit with the cloak glitch, we would have been able to see how ANA could make such a good backup there, because it can take down the level 50 towers with a single hit. So that's fun, and gain all the rage back, so we can just do it all over again. I like ANA. We did steal their food. Yay! The person's gonna look at the replays like, why did they hit me with a sapphire, garnet, and then an emerald? Why didn't they start with the emerald? But you know what? I do what I want. Alright. Let's do a feat of Borg again. Doing alright. Do one more. We can do one more level on him today, shall we? Let's go hunt some more. Southern Cross does have a really nice animation. ANA has the best animations in the game, I think. Beautiful looking spells for all of them. Let's go steal people's stuff. Ooh, ooh. Oh, look at that. They're offline. 200k, guys. Ugh. Okay, so here's the trick. So take a look where they have 50s at. So they have a lot of 20s and low levels thrown in. I think it's the goal is to try to disguise where the 50s are. So we have high levels on the first island, 250s on the small island, 50s. Erison says, watching your streams has made me regret not going for work. Hey, no, like I said, all of these season dragons have some great things going on. So don't you worry, little hat off pumpkin. We're going to do some house it. We're going to throw on lightning resist, see if we can get that small. And really... oh, war dragons. We crashed. I'm sorry. Now I'm sad. I want to hit Sarah from Green Reapers. Oh, let's go find her. Because we didn't hit her yet, technically. Okie dokie. Oh, that sucks, Erison. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's a bummer. Let's go find Sarah. She's on Grim Reapers, right? Sorry, Sarah, but you have a lot of food and I want it. She's probably going to get defenders now, but... oh well. Alright, so remembering again, it's got 250s there, 250s on her small, and then 50 lightnings. So that's all we really have to worry about. So let's go have some fun, kids. So it is clever what she's done. Try to like disguise where she's got her big things. Let's blink around that, shall we? She's got 50s on this one. So we'll do this, see if we can blink around it. There we go. Gloomclaw on a perch. These should be all low levels, if I remember correctly, on the long. So let's see if we can make it to this island of lightnings and at least sand the mages before we die. Cross our fingers that this resist is going to be enough against these 50 towers. Ah, yeah, borrowed time for the win, right? I think that was a pretty decent lead for myself. Let's pull out some A&A. Single hit to take down those level 50 towers to start. I do love A&A so much. Best Garnet Mythic in my opinion, but very specific uses is the only downside to that. Shit. That storm got in my way. Should have sanded that too. Silly red. Alright, so I know that I have no red coming up around the corner, so I'm precasting Southern Cross all the way back here. Okay, and then I'm going to switch to light, so to gain rage back hopefully, or gain health back instead of rage with these next couple of spells. There we go, all of our farms down in a single hit. No ability to use hammers there. And we ended with full life. Yay! Do most people choose Apophis over How? I hope not. If they do, I feel really bad. Howzit is the better dragon without a doubt, as you can take a look. And that's not just my opinion. That is definitely an opinion of a majority of high-level gamers. So if you take a look at my roster, you can see the only Garnets I have left are Season with Borg here. Zaru's there because I have a fondness of him. And then I have a Mythic Sapphire instead of a lot of other Garnets that I have. So that should kind of show you a little bit of my opinions on Howzit and how useful I think he can be. So I really hope that a lot of people choose How. One of the reasons that I think a lot of people might choose Apophis over Howzit. Aww, thank you so much for the follow. Gaza said I can only dream of playing at your level. What? What are you talking about, Gaza? You cray cray. Since a lot of the reason I think people might have Apophis over Howzit is that they're following a different breeding path. So the cheapest breeding paths typically always start with Apophis as the first mythic they get, including my own cheap breeding paths, which are my Icicle paths, my Icicle 3 and 4. But the strongest paths, personally, I believe, definitely start with Howzit, because as you can see, Howzit does some great things. Gaza, you're awesome! What are you talking about? There's different styles of play. You don't have to play like me in order to be great, and I think you're great, Gaza. We'll do it. We'll do it, guys. Okay, so that's my little thing. Howzit is the best ever mythic. No ifs, and, or buts in my mind. I'm like Hulk, I just go in and try to smash. That's really funny because we say that a lot of times in battle chats. When I follow some lower level teammates, I'll go red smash. And I'll go in and I'll like pull out one of my emerald legendaries and be like, yeah, flying to level 90 base. Woo! That's funny because that's how we play a lot. So, Gaza, without trying to please me, what do you think is your favorite dragon? What's the dragon that you enjoy flying the most? Curious. There's no wrong answer because there's nothing wrong about your own opinion, your own enjoyment in the game. Alright. Well, Gaza tells us what... Ooh! Well, Gaza tells us what her favorite dragon is. Or his? Hers? Gaza, you gotta give me a pronoun here to use. Well, Gaza tells me their favorite dragon to fly. Well, let's go crush some people. Let's do a little Algor, just for fun. Oh, we have matching avatars. Not your two strongest dragons, Gaza. What's your favorite dragon to fly that you've had, like, ever? So it doesn't matter what tier, what has been your favorite dragon to fly, what did you enjoy the most? It could be the dragon that you felt you were best at the time, but what is the dragon that you enjoy? Phasmos. Hey, that's a great dragon. So I'll pull Phasmos out here. Let's chat. So there's certainly nothing wrong with liking a dragon that maybe other people don't, or liking a dragon that people go, or disliking a dragon that a lot of people love. There's definitely nothing wrong with that, because one of the most important things about this game, in my opinion, that I try to stress with my team too, is you need to fly how you want to fly, man. Gaza said if it wasn't for him, I never would have gotten to where I am now. I think a lot of players would like that, especially before Emeralds. Phasmos could wreck. Let's pull out Phasmos, hey? We'll put him on the empty slot on my roster. I like Phasmos. Let's go get him. There you are. Hi, Boo Bear. A lovely Phasmos. So, for the people who are not familiar with Phasmos, this is a sorcerer, and it's a very unique sorcerer because it has Cloak, the only sorcerer that does have Cloak, and we have Ice Shock and Spellflux. So Ice Shock is a free cost spell, it is also white, so no rage, and Spellflux is a white spell, it costs 2. My two favorites are Kyrule and Ferga. Hey, Kyrule is freaking awesome, man! That's a great dragon. When they originally released the Emerald legendaries on the forums before we saw them, I think I rated Ferga, Desi, and Kyrule as the top 3 Emerald legendaries. Kyrule has some great spells, man. Let's pull it out for the fun of it. You can see that I only have my 2. So, one of my favorite things is that Seething Spark is my favorite warrior spell because it has multi-uses here. I think Tectonic Tomb is also fantastic, so I think that this is a great dragon. Yeah, dude, Gaza, man, be happy with those. Those are fun. I'm sure you do great with those. And Hunters and Warriors are 2 very different types of flying styles, so it's only kind of natural that you'd be better with one than the other, or you'd feel more comfortable with one. So let's go do some Phasmosing. Let's see who we can harass with our Phasmos. Oh, man. If we don't have rage, this might not go very well. What's the worst that can happen? That's my motto. I'm going to get stronger now for watching you. Yeah, hey, that's a good thing. We learn a lot from each other, and if there's anything ever I can do to help, always let me know. I do make specialized videos for my team a lot. Again, I never will claim to be the best hunter. But specialized videos, like if you want to see me fly a certain dragon, unfortunately I don't have Kyrule or Ferga. I'm happy to fly some stuff for you and give you my personal opinions and some other things, but I'm not sure I would be the most helpful person on the planet. I should have used my Ice Shock elsewhere. Oh darn. That's okay. Let's go hang out with A&A, shall we? No. We had a A&A meltdown here. I hate when Southern Cross does this. It bothers me so much. One day, bit by bit, we're getting to our bug-free game, right, guys? One day we'll be there. One day we'll be the place where there's so few bugs that we don't even notice anymore. Let's cross our fingers. Hi, welcome to the stream. Oh, darn! I was so excited to see a new face on the stream. And here I go wasting some rage. Boo! Oh, we're going to do an event chat, it seems. So, hi, welcome to the chat. So you're new, and so I was hiding on the current event thing. Why is it bad? So, can you give me a little bit more details about what you mean by new? So, are you new to the game? Are you in, what tier are you in? What league are you in? Can you give me a little bit of insight where you're coming from? Because I don't think this event in the new system is terrible for really low leagues and low level players. It's mostly influencing highly competitive players. So if you could give me a little bit more insight on where you're coming from, I will give you the very, okay. So you're a brand new player. Welcome to War Dragons. We're so happy to have you here. So, Chem Knight, please make sure that you keep in mind, Gaza obviously doesn't want to recognize there's an event right now. Should tell you something. So recognize the perspective that I am coming from, Cam. So I'll give you a little bit of that disclaimer. So the two accounts that I have here, if you're not familiar with me, hi, I'm Red. I am the leader of a Sapphire team named Rulith. I'll give you a little bit of a peek at my team here. So we are global ranked 52 in the game right now. So this is an idea of the front page on my team, so you can kind of get a perspective of where I'm coming from. And I have two accounts that I play actively, so obviously I'm the leader Red, and then my alt account, which I will switch to real quick. So I stream with both accounts. I just want to give you kind of an idea of where I'm coming from, because it makes no sense to tell you my opinion unless I tell you why I have that opinion, right? Okay, my iPad Air is loading there. And this is my other account, so this is my Red Delilah, this is my alt account on 138, and my team ranges and spans from 92 to 339. So this event has a couple of components, Cam. So let's talk about some of the basics of the event, and I'll tell you how this event can be kind of detrimental to high-level gameplay. So thank you. I love my avatars. So anything that's red is something that Jade has left targeted, which that is too many, so I'm going to fix that. What you're seeing now is what a member would see. So red means it's something that your officers or leaders have targeted, and it's something they want you to hit. I think that's a few too many right now, even though we're a little bit into the round, so I'm actually going to untarget a few on my main, which you can't see, but that'll change in a second. So the goal of Tug of War is to get that flag to one side or the other. If it's over the green line, that means that your team has stolen the flag. If it's over the red line, that means the other team has stolen the flag. I'm sorry if I'm reiterating some stuff you already knew, Cam, but I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. So if this isn't stuff you know, then I'm happy to try to help with that. So taking a look here, the goal is to take the other person's stuff. So we can take a look here at strikers that we currently have 5,000 points on them. You have to have a 1,000 point lead in order to steal the flag. And flags are stolen at the end of the round, which you can see at the top of the screen. Now, let's take a quick look at another team. So this is another team in our league right now that currently has our flag. Hey, Juan. Cam says, no, I've just been attacking stuff. Wasn't sure exactly how it was working. Yeah, Cam, so I'm happy to explain this. Again, welcome to War of Dragons. Always happy to see new faces. Always happy to help as much as I can. So this is another team right here. You can see along the left side of the screen there the options. You can see the bases to attack. If you click down below, you can also see the different flags that they have, and you can also see the standings this round about what that team is doing and how well that team is doing right now. So you can see right now that Dustar has a couple of flags, but it looks like they're ignoring a lot of teams. You can see who they have targeted, so that's a really neat thing to see. But let's look at the flags thing for a second. How points are calculated in this event is at the very, very, very end. So at the very end, however many flags your team has determines how well your team does. So you can see right here, let's read. Bye, Erison. See you later. See you tomorrow. We're streaming tomorrow evening, darling. Dustar is ranked 12 with 102 flags worth 33.1k victory points. And it'll tell you the flags that Dustar currently owns. So you can see that their flags, how many they're worth, and however many flags Dustar owns means that their own personal flag is worth more based on how many flags. Now the hard part here is we can see Dustar owns these flags currently, but unless they have all of these exact flags at the end of the event, they won't actually earn these victory points. So if we take a look at the team rank, let's find Dustar here. There we go. So they're ranked 12 right now. So they have 33.1k victory points. None of those are permanent, Cam, which means their points will fluctuate. They're not guaranteed any of those victory points. Where some of the other events in the game, as soon as you gain a victory point, you keep it until the end of the round. And with Capture the Flag, or Tug of War is what a lot of us call it, you don't keep any victory points, and it only matters how you end at the very, very, very end of the event. So one of the reasons why a lot of people are upset with this is we've lost a couple of things. So one of the things we've lost... Hey, that's awesome, Juan. One of the things we've lost is a bonus meter, which you will see on later events, Cam, which means the more you attack, it's giving you a bonus. So you can get up to a 50% bonus, or you used to, on this event, which means if you attacked a lot, you get more points every time you attacked, which was great. It helped free players a lot. There was also an item called Valors, which if you enabled, it also gave you either 25% bonus for every base you attacked, or 100% bonus for every base you attacked. And it was really fantastic. And those are two things that Pocket Gems has taken away. but they haven't adjusted the prize value, so it's harder to earn prizes, and they've taken away the two things that we kind of could use. The last thing that they've done this time is if we push attack here, we can see the different ways of attacking. Basic attack is definitely the best thing to do if you're a free player, like most of us are. It is the most efficient use of your items and your energy, but if you are kind of pressed for time, that's where the other things come from. So super attacks in green there, you can see cost 5 times the energy. They cost 20 versus 4, so 4 times 5 is 20, but they only give you 4 times the points. So you're losing now on an attack just by doing super attacks. And then mega attacks cost this mega coin. How you earn a mega coin, well, technically how you buy a mega coin from here on out, is you have to give 100 energy and 20 inner fires, which are an item to get this mega coin. Inner fires are an item up here you can see at the top of my screen. That gives you a plus 100% bonus on an attack, and you can equip up to 3, so use 3 dragons. And those only drop from chests, so the only way to really earn points was, is spending money. So Cam says, yeah, I noticed that it was a loss of energy. Wasn't sure why I'd want to do that. Yeah, so the reason they did this is to help people who don't have a lot of time, but who can afford to pay for this game. So something that might shock you in the weeks to come is how much money a lot of people pay to play this game. So a reason why a lot of people are upset by this event now, and why I do believe this event is bad, and you can see my team rank is exceptionally low. We typically rank usually top 5 or top 7 every event, and we just aren't participating really this event. Is because with these mega attacks, if we go back to this round, these mega attacks are giving people about 3,000 points apiece. And since it only takes 1,000 over that black line, so 1,000 more than your opponent, to steal their flag, this means that somebody could use a mega coin at the very last second of the round and take your flag. So it's no longer a game of strategy or cooperation or organization within your team. It's now a thing of who can pay the most and who can buy mega coins. So that's one reason that a lot of the player base is upset right now. So we've lost our ability to earn more points with this bonus meter and the valor items that no longer exist that I told you about. The prizes are still really too high, and so it makes it much more difficult for people to do well. Cam says, I've been playing Summoner's War for 3.5 years. The amount of money people spend in games no longer surprises me. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you won't get that sticker shock here. What did you say the inner fire was? Sure. So let's take a look at one of my dragons. So if you go into the equip section of your dragons under boost, so this is where you put your dragon attack and health boost, there's the items down here. So you can equip this inner fire item for the event only. When you attack with an inner fire, here, why don't we, actually, let's do an event attack and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So that way we can talk about what we see rather than just hypothetical, yeah? So I will attack Dustar actually. And so again, I have a 251 account that I've used to back myself, so that's why I do hit significantly higher than my level. I'll do a basic attack. If it'll load. There it goes. Alright, I'm going to fly with my Howzet. So like I mentioned here, I'm going to equip an Inner Fire, which is an item that only drops from chests. So we could talk about chests in a second. I'm inviting a teammate, which includes myself, so you can see red is my other account that I'm using to back myself. And that way at the very end of this attack I can kind of show you the breakdown of how this works. So this is Howzet. This is my Sapphire Mythic Dragon. I love, 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 love him. So you're going to see he's going to die in a second, but I'm still going to be able to continue attacking. This is his Borrowed Time ability, so don't get confused by this. And then pulling up my main account to back myself up. Here you're going to see Desi flying in a second. This is my Emerald Legendary. No, I accidentally tapped the mage, didn't mean to. Unsanded it. Alright, just about done. So you can equip Inner Fire to any dragon that you attack with, and you can use up to 3 of your own dragons, so you can equip Inner Fire to all of them. And then as soon as the attack ends here, it'll pull up the breakdown. Alright, so I can give you a look. Alrighty. So it's going to come to this attack screen on my main account, the account that led only. So if we look here, you see above points 1, you can see that little I. We're going to press that. And it'll give us the attack details. So it tells us the base value of the target was 99 points, and then we got all of it, so we just got the 1 multiplier, so nothing changed, still 99 points. We got the level multiplier because that person was a higher level on their team. Level multiplier is based on their level compared to their team, not compared to you. So they had that 0.21 multiplier, which is why I was worth more points. And then you can see that total bonus multiplier there below. So 100% plus Inner Fire. So you can see the times 2. So each Inner Fire gives you another multiplier to add on there. And that multiplier, again, goes on that base point, not anything else. So again, 99, again, points added on. So the Inner Fire adds how many points you can earn from that. Does that make sense, Cam? If not, holla at me. Let me know so I can show you a bit and hopefully make it a little bit more clear. So welcome to the game again. Very happy. So if you aren't already aware, yeah, so that's Inner Fire. So that's a way we can earn points. And Inner Fire is only dropped from chests. And in the armory here, the chest contents change depending on the event. So when we have a PvP event, which is a major event like we see right now, the chest contents we have kind of the always chest contents, and now we have PvP specific chest contents. So you'll see Inner Fires drop from chests occasionally. So see here, runic chests, which are in the center here, those are a special item, very expensive, really don't recommend buying, but there'll be silver chests again soon, which do drop. Runic chests are pay for only. What else about events? So if your team hasn't told you a little bit about the game, there is an event cycle. So we go as major, minor, major, minor, major, minor, very typically. So we are in a major event, which is an attacking event. Next event will be fortification, meaning you'll get points for every building that you build. So that includes your farms and your mills and your other defense towers. You'll get points for every bit of resources you use to set things up. Yeah, I've gotten 3 Inner Fires, that's why I was running what it was. Yeah, so you want to use the Inner Fires on the highest base value point, or highest target you can get, really. And just gives you more points. So, good thing to do. A lot of times, I save my Inner Fires till the end of the event, because like I said, how your team ends is really what matters. Gaza said, will you please look at my base? Sure. Gaza, did you send a mail to my main? Yeah. Alright, let's take a look at Gaza's base. We're going to switch devices to my main here. So I'm going back to my phone. Some basic advice, Cam. Make sure you find a breeding path. Follow the breeding path, so it'll save you tokens. Make sure you build a short base, and we're going to talk about stuff when we look at Gaza's base here. And make sure you don't build any ballista towers. And so we're actually going to talk about base setup stuff, so see if this helps you a bit, Cam. Alright guys, you're 281 on Fairy Tale. Let's see. Okay. Gaza, don't be scared. So, like I said, my opinion on how bases should be set up is very different. Right away, I would switch on your Long Island, sorry, looking specifically at your Long, I would switch your Storm and your Fire, because you want your Storm to keep your flak alive. And so if you switch your Storm and your Fire, then your Storm will activate its invincibility shield sooner, and you'll be able to protect that flak, because your flak is what's going to kill people. So I would definitely switch that right away. I like how you have a high-level cannon at the back of your Long, because it's gonna crack some shields there. I don't think it's useful to have those level 30 lightnings at the start of your base, because those are low levels. towers for your level, and I think all they would do is allow people to build up rage, to be completely honest. So if I was flying against your base, I would take out those mage towers and I'd just let those lightnings hit me to build up some rage. And so that way if I use a second dragon or if my follow is coming, then they can have some rage build up as well. So I don't think it's useful to have those low level towers, again, for our levels at the start. Okay. Do you have anything building right now, Gaza? Like, do you have any buildings under construction? Let's see. The long is okay. Or the small after the long is okay. I'm going to change island to be mage. Yes, for sure. That's exactly what I was going to suggest. My suggestion here, what level is that? It's 40. I would recommend, Gaza, that you put... Okay, I would recommend that you put your farms here on your last long island. I put those at the front of the island. And the rationale for that is, so if I'm attacking you, let's say in war and things like that, I need to be able to take those farms down, right? That's the point, to get 5 flames. And if the farms are at the front, I'm going to be worrying about the towers that are attacking me behind it. And a lot of times I'll miss the farms, actually, because I will be flying faster over those farms there. So I would put those farms in the front. I like that they're maxed. And maybe put that ice and put a red. Okay. Do you mind if I draw a picture? Because sometimes my words don't work out very well. Hold on, I'm going to draw a picture. Okay. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. And so this is your long island, or your last long island. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Undo. And then ice is what? 30, 40 something? 40. Okay. So this is what I would do, Gaza, on your last long. So this would be, let me draw my arrow. So as if the dragon is coming from this direction, to give you a little bit of a thing. And the reason I would do this is, again, so those farms and mills are harder to take out because they're at the front. The red is protecting them from crumble, so they have to take out the red first, which gives you some time to drop boosts. Put the lightnings in back because they're just as high as those cannons and archers, really. And if lightnings are in back, they have the furthest range. You have the blue to help with spells. The blue and the red are both from your small island now. And then you have that ice right there to help protect as well. So does that make a little bit of sense? I hope. To kind of, yeah, that's what I would do. I like your long island. Like, again, I'd switch the 46, that front 46 fire with your storm, so your storm can protect your flak, and I'd make a rage drain island for sure. And your rage drain doesn't have to be a high level, and I'm not sure if you were on the stream yesterday when we kind of proved that, because somebody flew up against my base for that. So that's what I would recommend doing. Can't really see my picture. Okay. Here, oh, I can type it in chat. So, give me a second. Four from Tatastic doesn't want me to do my thing in chat. I'm teasing you, Tatastic. And then... So that's, oh, it doesn't work. Oh, this is so frustrating because chat doesn't do the thing. Yeah, what Natastic said. Oh, I'm super bummed that The formatting doesn't keep in this chat. Oh well, so 3 lightnings in black with a blue and an ice at the back there, and then at the very front of your island, your farms and mills. I was super excited. I thought it was going to look so nice in chat. I'm bummed. But it doesn't take the returns in chat very well, like the line breaks. Now I'm sad. So lightning's at the back. Yeah. Give it a go, see if you like it. But Rage Drain all the way. I think will make a difference. And because you have a perch there, I would put, I think it's sorcerers that give the super shot boost. So sometimes you'll get a free super shot. So I'd put a sorcerer on the Rage Drain on that front small if that's what you're planning on doing. So give it a go, see what you like, see what you think. But having low level towers on your first island just lets people build up rage, which I think can be painful. But yeah, I like your Long Island a lot. I'm jealous of your 49 flack. Like, really jealous. Mine's not that big. Mine's only 47. Yeah. Okay, well, we've been streaming for 2.5 hours at this point, so I think it's going to be about time to log off soon. Thanks for the follow, Kitty. Cam says, and why are ballistas bad? So ballistas are useful until about level 25, but after that point, they do less damage than every other tower in the game. So, let's see. Let me pull up my storage here. So let's take a look at ballistas here. So if I were to build a level 1 ballista, oh, Gaza, you're a tease. A level 1 ballista here is the attack of 52, and its special attack poisons a dragon. It does this damage over time. So even though special attack says 152, that damage is dealt over time, which means the dragon's still alive and it's still going to be doing damage to you. So versus if we look at like an archer, look at the insane attack power difference, and that's just level 1. There, Cam. So remember, the level 1 ballista would have had 52 and 152 for attack and special attack, versus an archer that would have 822 and 1040. I do have some research done for archer's attack, I believe, but the difference is insane. And the higher level you get, the more of a difference they make. And ballistas have been... they've tried to fix them a few times. They've done, I believe, 2 updates to ballistas, but they still do pretty poorly. So if you build some at a low level, that's okay. So you can kind of keep them there, but as you grow, you should really stop leveling up ballistas. And that brings us to how to build a base. So let me go here. We're going to take a look at my alt, and we're going to talk about some base setup things real quick. Oops, I'm looking at the wrong screen. There we go. There we are. All right, let's take a look at my alt space here, and we can kind of talk about this. So when I was speaking with guys about a Rage Drain Island, you can see those 4 level 1 mage towers there. The reason that those are there is so that somebody attacking me won't have any rage starting. So if I'm defending, I'm going to tap 1 or 2 of those. I'm going to take the rage, so that way when they hit my main islands, they're not going to have anything. And I believe a Rage Drain Island works at any level. So no matter what level you are, I think they can be really, really useful. And here is my advice to you, Cam, my super advice. Do you see how long this base is? You should have your base probably a pretty similar setup, except for this very last island. You see those 4 remaining attack towers, that's 17, 21, 15, 22. Leave those empty. So you should have a total, I would say, of, was that 5, 10, 15 attack towers, including mages not on your Rage Drain. 15, that's it. So once you have 15 towers, stop building more, or even 10 would be a really good number for a low level to start with, just 10. Clear the fog and push back your forests and stuff until you access this middle long island here you can see, because that's the best place setup wise to put your defenses. So that means that you would leave this last island would be just empty. You can clear the fog and the forest, just don't put anything there. And I would also leave this back island empty as well and try to put everything there. A shorter base with higher level towers always does better. So you can see we talked about Rage Drain here. Keep your base short. My base is a little long for me. And don't build evenly. You want to build the highest level tower you can rather than building all of your towers up one level at a time. So if you see in my long island here, you can see I have a couple of level 35s, and then behind it I have 25. So that's a huge difference. And the reason is you want to have that strong suit and that strong set of islands and strong set of towers to take down people as fast as you can. And eventually you're going to get to the point when you build a tower that it'll say upgrade your builder's hut. And if you can't upgrade your builder's hut for whatever reason, that means then you can move on to the next tower to build up. So high level towers, short base, don't build evenly, and rage drain are my major set of advice for building a base. As always, if you guys have any questions, please shoot me a message. I do stream every single day, so you can check on Twitter, follow me on Twitter over there, The Red Delilah, and I update you there. Under my images on Twitter, you can see my summer stream schedule, which will go through the end of the month here. I have changed on the summer stream schedule if you do follow me on Twitch. So today I obviously started streaming at 11 a.m. Eastern, and tomorrow I'll stream at 6 p.m. Eastern, which is 2 hours before war technically would start if there was war. So catch me then, follow me on Twitter, ask questions please, you can tweet at me, you can send me messages in game, check me on my streams. Always happy to help with bases, I'm always happy to talk about dragons, talk about breeding paths, talk about whatever you really want to. I'm here to hang out with you guys, here to learn from you, and here to hopefully share some of the knowledge I've gained over the 2+ years I've been playing this game. So that being said, I do think it's time for my poor little throat to stop talking for a bit. We have been streaming for 2.5 hours, so it's been so much fun, guys. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this time with us together, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.